Hello, dear friends, and welcome to ALLATRA TV UK. Today, we are going to meet a very interesting person who will share with us her vision of creative society. But before I introduce this lady, I would like to tell you a little bit about Creative Society Project. It is a global project of ALLATRA International Public Movement, where volunteers from all over the world are conducting social surveys and interviewing people to get to know how do they envision the society where everybody on earth is happy, where we all live as one big family, where people have everything they need and do what they really love and what benefits the entire society. So today my name is Alina and my co-host name is Alla. Hello, Alla.
Hi. Hello, everybody. During our conversation on ALLATRA TV, we are using the rule of six handshakes. It is a theory that all people on Earth are connected through five or less people. And on the end of this program today, we're going to ask our guest who she want to meet and continue with us this next podcast. And we would like to know the name of this person, and we're going to ask it on the end of our program. So thank you.
Thank you, Alla. So, dear viewers, I'm very happy to introduce you our guest, Veerle Van Tricht, medical doctor, ophthalmologist, eye surgeon, also speaker, author, coach, and holistic practitioner specializing in helping professionals to avoid burnout. Hello, dear Veerle. We are very happy to see you here today. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you are doing, and how you came to it?
Thank you so much for having me here. I love connecting with people who have like the same intentions of making this place a better place for everybody, where we all feel like one family. Um, I always identify, if people ask me where I'm from, I always say from planet Earth because I don't really feel like we should have borders or we should like be separate from each other because I know we are all one. I know this from my own spiritual experiences. And so I really, really like what you guys are doing. So there's a lot about me to say, and I don't, I don't want to keep on going. I've had a very interesting, adventurous life. I lived on 3 different continents and I worked there as a medical doctor. So I have a lot of experience. I also worked in Africa, volunteered with Doctors Without Borders, which I love doing. So I've even written a memoir, which is called My Surgeon Talks to Angels. And the subtitle is A Journey from Science to Faith. So I started in medical school trying to understand why people do what they do. And then I ended up actually finding a lot of spiritual motivations, and I did a lot of training in a lot of modalities. That's why I became a life coach, which is mental. Then I became a journey practitioner, which is really emotional healing. And I'm also an angel healer. So I work with the spiritual. I even have my own school, Dr. V's Angel School, and I would love to do retreats whenever we can travel again and meet people who are interested in that. And one of the things that I always think for myself is what people would I like to meet. And one of the people I was on my list. I've met lots and lots of people that I admire. But Jack Canfield was one of the people on my list. So I co-wrote a book with him. And we actually got a bestseller award for this in Hollywood. It's called Success Starts Today. So yes, so as you can see, I'm somebody who knows what she wants and goes out to get it. And I love learning and I love connecting with other people. And so yeah, that's a little bit basically about me. Now my mission is to save 1 million lives from burnout, because I almost died from burnout. It
Mm.
can get so bad that your body just completely shuts down. And I see it a lot around me in the medical profession, that people, I can see the signs of burnout, but they don't get the right help. So I have a lot of training videos on my YouTube channel and also on my school in Teachable, where people can have access for free to to learn how to recognize burnout, how to prevent burnout, and also how to, there's another video course I'm giving away for free, which is how to stay sane during a pandemic. And it's very aligned with your message about finding your own joy, surrounding you with people that bring you positive energy, caring for the planet, and making decisions that are good for everybody, and helping others as much as we can. So yeah, I'm very aligned. I feel very aligned with your message, and I think it's super cool you're doing this. So if anybody's interested in the free course, and I also have one paid course and coaching there, they can go to, oops, can you see it? https burnout-expert.teachable.com. So there's 3 free courses, a paid course, where I help people who are completely tired of their current life. If they want a complete makeover, I'm the one to come to, because I've done it before. And I love empowering people who say, like, I don't want to keep on living like this anymore. And I help them reset on all levels. So we reset physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I teach time management also. And then I help people connect to their higher consciousness. So it's a very, I feel like I have the whole package now with all the things that I've studied. I'm putting it all together. That's like 20 years of study in my online course and in my coaching experience. It's very, very powerful. So I love helping people to get the life that they love, because there's too many people who accept mediocrity, or just stay on in the rat race or on the hamster wheel. And I really love people to help. I really like empowering people so they like take control back of their life. And as a medical doctor, I also help people take control of their health, because traditionally we are trained as doctors to be the boss and say, here, take these chemicals, treat the symptoms and all of that. And we were not taught in medical school about prevention, what people should be eating, how they should take care of their physical and mental health. So all of that, we don't learn that in medical school, but I've learned that now because I had burnout and I had to find out how not to make the mistakes that I made again, over and over again. So that are the things that I even teach my patients who come to me with eye problems. Often I will give them some food advice or some advice on their stress levels or on their weight, because it's all connected. So yeah, that's why I call myself an integrative ophthalmologist, because I also do those things that most doctors won't do, especially not eye surgeons, because as eye surgeons, if we can't cut it out, we're not interested. But yeah, so there's a lot of things where I can see positive change in the future. I'm usually one of the first people to implement, new ways. So, but I'm sure in 10 years' time, there will be more people following along the same line. So that's one of the visions I have for healthcare, that people get better education and feel empowered to make better choices for themselves, rather than giving their health to a doctor and say, here, you take care of it. It's not my responsibility, because I see that a lot. But luckily, times are changing. So more and more young people realize they have to do it themselves and take good care of their body, which is the temple that deserves our best attention. And sorry, I will stop talking now because I can keep on going on forever.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. And I believe what you are doing in regards to helping people to distress and to enjoy their life is very important nowadays, especially nowadays. And could you maybe give our viewers the advice, just in case someone found he or she is experiencing burnout now? What would be the very first step to get rid of this state?
Okay, yeah, it is. There's a lot of things I can share, but okay. First of all, you need to start listening to your body. If your body is tired, that means it needs rest. That's number one. And there's a lot of things you can learn on to get better sleep, because often people with burnout don't sleep well. I have like a newsletter you can get from my website with 10 steps on how to improve your sleep environment. Another thing is if your circumstances are draining your energy or certain people, it's time to get rid of them, because it's not always your fault, but you might be in an environment that's just not good for you. So that is a very important point. We cannot always change our environment. We can only change ourselves, right? And another thing is, if you think you have to do too many things, you have too many responsibilities, it's okay to accept help from others. And it's okay to hire people to help you with certain jobs that you're not the best at. It's okay to help. It's okay to get a babysitter now and then. It's okay to get a cleaner if you're very busy. Another thing is that it's important you keep your relationship. If you are in a relationship with your loved ones, you need to nurture that every day and not just focus on work or money, because you need that support. I think people who get burnout often are perfectionistic, so that's one thing they can let go of. And they think they do everything better themselves, so they don't accept help from others. And then they beat themselves up because they're not perfect anymore. So those are the things that I see a lot. So yeah, those are a few things that people can implement straight away. Better sleep environment. Don't be so hard on yourself. And make sure there's no negative people in your environment. Just avoid as much contact as possible and surround yourself with positive people. And do a thing that brings you joy every day, and prioritize yourself. That's the thing that a lot of people with burnout don't do, because they're caring for so many other people and they take responsibility for so much that they don't have time for themselves. And that should be their number one priority in their diary, is like, I'm gonna take time out for a hot bath or for a massage or for a walk in nature, and nobody can interrupt me or take that away from me. That time for you is essential. Because if you keep on giving to others and don't take time to recharge your battery, you're just gonna run out of energy. And like me, I was in bed and I couldn't even get out of my bed anymore. I was so exhausted at a certain stage. So I don't wish that on anybody. So please, people, yeah, there's lots of free information on my website. Enjoy it and don't make the same mistakes that I did. But I'm here to help for those ones who need a helping hand, because it's tough to do it on your own sometimes. And I really like helping people go from that dark hole back into the living the light, living a life that they love. So, and it's possible. We can create and co-create so many things. We are a lot more powerful than a lot of people think. But yes, sometimes if you're in a bad place in your life, accept the helping hands that are there. That is a big message, I think. You don't have to go through it alone.
Thank you, Veerle. Your story is very inspiring. We know that you have traveled a lot, and you also worked for as a volunteer for Doctors Without Borders and other non-profit organizations. And you've been in Africa and Australia, and it's amazing. You met so many people, and such a great experience based on it. So based on your experience, could you please tell us, what do you think unites all people regardless of their nationality, religion, social status, or any other background?
Good, very, very good question. Something that I see everywhere, of course, is everybody tries to make a difference in the world. I think deep down, everybody wants to leave a legacy. And also a lot of the things that people do, they ultimately do it to care for their loved ones. That is a priority for a lot of people. No matter where you are, there will always be parents caring for their children and for their children's well-being.
Yes, I agree completely with everybody care for each other need more, and especially for the children. And yeah,
Yes,
this unity can be around.
yes, I think it's just our nature to help, to do something good. We just have to remind ourselves this sometimes.
We have to be
That all
kind
good.
with each other.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think sometimes if you grow up in a certain culture, there are differences, but deep down, people want the same thing. They want to spend time with their loved ones and they want to make a difference. But of course, if you're born in a certain culture where the message is you only count when you become a doctor or a computer specialist or whatever the environment imposes on you, you start believing that as a child. And you might like be very ambitious doing what you think you have to be doing, but inside you're not happy because your soul doesn't really resonate with what culture imposes on you or your parents and your schooling. And there's all of these expectations that are put on children that it's not what the child naturally was born to do. So that's why I love peeling all of that off a person and say, okay, now let's talk to your soul wish. Why were you born? What was your soul mission? I love really going deep into that. What brings you joy? And like, what would you do even if you didn't get paid for it? That's something that you really love doing. So that is so enjoyable to find out what is inside a person without all of these expectations from the outside world. And those expectations are different in different cultures, but they're still there. They will all, most cultures will impose something on their children that is expected from them. So yeah, and that's how we end up with some unhappy people sometimes, until they find themselves again. Like, who am I really? Without a degree, without the diplomas, without the expectation of a big house or a fancy car, who am I really inside, my essence? And in that essence, we are all the same. We all crave connection and love. And yeah, so that's how I
Yeah.
see it.
We just have to trust our feelings more rather than the voice in our head or something that imposed to us from society or whatever.
Mm.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Amazing. And you already doing your best to help people. And let's imagine that all people took responsibility for their lives and started to act to create a better world altogether. What world would it be like? Can you please share with us your vision of creative society and describe the society where you, your family, friends, and everyone will live happily?
Yeah, well, there's a few visions that I have. Like, I think we should not have borders at all because we are just like all earthlings. And also I think we should definitely give more place back to nature. So a lot more greenery. So we're living in areas where there's a lot more green and clean air and clean water, and where we grow our own crops, kind of thing. It sounds like a step back, but um, yeah, I think it's more sustainable to have local farming, local growing of food, with the seasons, and then I guess exchanging, because I'm not very talented at keeping plants alive, but other people are, so I could obviously then offer my skills, which are in a completely different level, in return. Um, and I mean, this is going to sound horrible, but when we were in lockdown in the UK, I just loved sitting outside and it being so nice and quiet. And I could hear all the birds and the wind in the trees. And that just makes me so happy to be, connected to nature. While now it's not lockdown here anymore, and it's all these speeding cars going past my house again, and then it makes me less happy. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we will probably, people can work from home a lot more, so we will need to travel less. We're already getting used to our kids getting schooled online and things like that. so many people are already finding out they can actually do a lot of work from home, so there will be less traffic. In my opinion, that would be good for the environment, and for the air pollution would be less. Um, so yeah, that's the main things that I see, so that nature gets a little bit more space and we have less species extinct also, because we've taken away so much land and forest and from other species that also deserve their spot, because they're all part of the ecosystem in any case. So yeah, it's not up to us to ruin a beautiful planet. So I hope there will be enough people with the same intentions um, to turn this around.
It's really amazing what you're just saying about, yes, we all have to take responsibility for our planet. We all have to act like responsible as again, isn't it, as much as we can for environment and for us as people life and for everything basically, which what we have here in this world. And on a platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement, we have a project called Creative Society. And I'd like to introduce you for 8 Foundation of Creative Society that the project is held. So the first foundation, it sounds like Human Life. You can see this on your screen now. For our viewers, it's very comfortable to see that. The first one is Human Life, then Human Freedom, Human Safety, Transparency and Openness of Information for All, the Creative Ideology, Development of Personality, Justice and Equality, Self-Government Society. So this project now is really global, and we're interviewing such amazing, inspiring people around the whole globe and asking them about the creative society, the envisions, and new envisions sound so sweet and so perfect, and where the birds is around us, and where we bond again with nature. And I'd like to talk about the first, the foundation of creative society, which is human lives, and it sounds like human life is the most important in the whole world, isn't it? So life of any human has to be protected as one's own, and this is the first foundation of creative society. And because based on your experience, because you are a doctor, because you've seen so many people, you traveled so different places you saw, and you met absolutely amazing people and inspiring people and everybody. I'd like to ask you, how do you envision healthcare and education in creative society?
Ooh, that's a very good one. And that's 2 different questions. So, I think, and I'm not sure whether it's going to be ideal. I mean, as I already said, like we should put more education into taking care of your own health, so that you can do a lot more preventive medicine, in the sense that avoid becoming ill and unhealthy. Include not only, I mean, as food advice, exercise advice, getting cleaner air will help. Getting clean. Oh, yes, a big one. Probably remove more toxins from the environment and from all the products that are out there. That's going to be a big one. I mean, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Because in some countries, certain toxins are not allowed in food. Like, for instance, we can't buy the American Fruit Loops here because they have a lot of dangerous chemicals in it. But in other countries, the poor kids in the States are still eating it, you know? If it would be more global and just take, the well-being of your kids and the health of people eating your food should be more important than you making a profit and or even dumping chemicals in people's food, or an excess of corn syrup in people's food. I mean, there's a lot of things that are immoral in the food business and in the pharmaceuticals. And how to really turn it around, I don't know, by educating a lot of young people with younger generations having different, hopefully, aspirations take over in all of these fields in the world with better morals would be fantastic, where well-being is more important than making a profit. So yes, it's a big one, that one. And in healthcare, I would like to educate, like interfere earlier in people's preventative care, rather than now people come to us when the damage is done. And then actually, because I work for the national health system, I can't really give advice on supplements or food advice, because that's not in my guidelines. So I just have to stick to the guidelines are diagnose, inject a chemical. Next month, inject a chemical again. No. So there's so many rules that are really not integrative yet, because from the national health system at the moment says like the pharmaceutical medicine is proven, we tested it on 1 million people, blah blah blah. Nobody has ever tested that garlic is good for you, because there's no money into testing that, because nobody can own garlic. So there's a lot of other natural treatments out there that might be good, but nobody's ever going to spend money proving that eating a clove of garlic is as efficient as taking a tablet to keep your blood thin and running, So I don't know how to solve that. I really don't know how to solve it. I'm sure it's just going to be an awakening of a lot of people of the next generation that start to think differently, I hope. So we talked a little bit about medicine, and the other one, education. Yes, unfortunately, I think the educational system that we have now was created to create workers for our society. But our society has changed. So what our kids are learning now is maybe not useful at all anymore. So they need to, and it should not be create workers. It should be teaching people like, who am I? How can I make a difference? What are my natural talents? What do I love doing? I find it a bit bad. I mean, that's a bad word in itself. I find it a bit narrow-minded to impose school system on each child, and they're so different, and they all have to learn the same things in the same manner and at the same time, while some of them are more mature than other or not. They have to go through the schooling system like all like systemized, like there's no freedom, personal freedom almost. Everybody just gets sent through the system, and what they're learning could probably be improved to more human skills, more things like things that we need in the future. I'm not a specialist in education, but I know there are a lot of people out there that are thinking to change around the education system completely and teach kids things they can actually use, that are useful for them and not just academic. For instance, now that everybody's using smartphones and iPads and stuff like that, is it really that important that kids spell correctly, because they will use spell check in the future? So, I mean, it's just one simple example, just something to get you thinking. Yeah, that is a very, very big question, and I've never thought about that before. So that's just like something that came up in my mind. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, you're absolutely right with this about the schooling system and everything, because if you're thinking on a globe scale, it's some places doesn't have a school, so some kids growing up never ever know how to read or count or anything, and unfortunately this is unfair for them. And in some schools, as you're right, it's like system as a system product coming instead of inspiring children, motivate them, recognize their talents. So it's just systematic so much, as you say, it's like big conveyor, like fabric, isn't it? Production for the workers and everything. But yeah, for some in the global scale, we do need more education for people and more inspiring them for learn new things, for put your heart into that, because nowadays world is money orientated so much, and we need to create like beautiful world. This is why creative consumers is like such amazing, like supportive society, and as though people can support each other, recognize their talents, and just follow your passion, follow your heart. And same with medical care. In some countries, the brilliant example is UK with medical health system. And if we can expand it It's maybe, yeah, there's many problems with, as you said, the natural medicine has to be also recognized as a traditional medicine, but then because every single medicine is coming, a drug is coming from the learn of the nature, all these plants we learning and some insects and animals, and it's all coming ideas what from them to actually create the medicine nowadays. And of course, this health system here is amazing for nowadays, and it would be nice to expand it around whole world so you can get this medical treatment for anybody wherever you are, and it will be just amazing for every single person to live and feel so safe. So it's like you can have great education, you can have great medical health care, and I think this will be really fantastic. And you're right, we should listen to more medicine, to nature, and as you said, step back a little bit and see our life honestly, what we've done and what we need to do, and how we can develop and take all this knowledge and go forward.
Yes, I so agree with you. I mean, I forgot to mention that, but you're right. There's other places on the planet where people want to learn, where kids want to learn, and they can't. So definitely they have to be provided for also. And the same with healthcare. In some places, it's just not available yet, not even basic healthcare. So yes, it's up to us to make sure everybody is taken care of in that way. And I do agree with your education should be free for everybody. Because I mean, that would be definitely what we need in the creative society, is people who have the support to get the best out of themselves, but in a way that they feel they're aligned with what they're doing, that they like not get imposed on, you have to be this, you have to be that, but that they really go inside and say, ooh, I would love doing this. And then they get the support to get really good at it. So yeah, that's the way I see it. But
Yes,
thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot about the poor people that don't have access to the luxuries we have here in the West. And definitely that needs to be prioritized. Yeah.
unfortunately nowadays this consumer society is we do need new model. I think we do need something different, because all the people, as I say, in the globe, and when we can all behave and feel good, and we do need creative society. We need create something so nice and so amazing for everybody. And as I said before, to feel safe, our children can go anywhere. We will not worry if they go on the street in the middle of night or anything. And these feelings we can create, and we can do it really fast if we unite, if all of us together get like big unity. We decide as a big humanity, we can do it. We can do it very fast and good and safe. And thank you for your amazing sharing with us your envision and your experience of life as well.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. I also agree with you that we all have to learn how to have a healthy lifestyle, and how to set our minds properly, so we do not fight with consequences. We just prevent diseases and illnesses. It's very important. Thank you so much for sharing. And it should be popular in society to be healthy and to be happy.
Yeah, everybody makes a difference in our global society. Everyone counts, and everybody deserves the time to nurture themselves. You know, I think it's a very awesome slogan, because you're worth it. You deserve to nurture yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your inspiring words. And we would like to ask you, Veerle, who would you like to meet and have a talk about creative society in one of our next broadcasts? Maybe somebody you know personally, so we will test the theory of 6 handshakes.
I would like to reach my hand out to Katarina Bulic. She is a Croatian attorney who has become entrepreneur, and she's also on a mission to help other entrepreneurs. So yeah, I will ask her to join.
That will be wonderful to have her with us, and you can also participate as a co-host if you wish. and make a little part of yourself in this conversation, next broadcast. And we also would like to remind our viewers that if you want to join our project, you can go to the Allatraunites website that you can see on your screens now, and click join us button and become part of our project. And thank you so much, Veerle, for being with us today. What would you like to maybe wish to our viewers today, to the people that are watching us today? If anything you can wish for them, that would be really nice.
Well, I think because you guys all thinking on a higher level, that what I wish is that everybody can like radiate that energy into that environment, and just by being present with these higher intentions to just spread the good energy around them, so that we get more and more and more people aligned with a positive mission for our future as a global society. So just like shine your light, babies.
Just up. That's right. And I'd like to say also our viewers that can use hashtag Creative Society and hashtag ALLATRAunites and follow us on any social media. Doesn't matter what country you live or anything. So you can find us very easy, and you can join all our projects because it's many of them, and Creative Society is one of them. And thank you, Veerle, for everything, because you're such amazing, inspiring guest today, really, and your vision and your experience of how many people you met and everything is just I really hope, and it will help millions of people, because we do need people like you who is lifting up each other, and it's fantastic. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you. I think together we are so powerful when all people join together. They can do everything they want. We can achieve everything we want. We can build this creative society where everybody is happy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I love the work you're doing. Keep on going.
Thank you. Thank you for just being here, and it's just really amazing. And I can't wait to see you again on our international meeting, which is next year, and maybe on the next podcast as well.
Yes. See you then.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.